Well, hello there.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our
Welcome back to
channel. Well, it's a
ASMR.
new channel, but it's not YouTube.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know, this is annoying.
I know.
Okay, stop.
I thought I was trying to sound seductive at first, but then it sounded a bit weird. I was like, well, hello there. Well, hello there. Yeah.
Welcome back to Love Has No Limits. Sorry, we're in
Hi.
a really hyper mood today.
Yeah, we're in an odd mood.
This is going to be a weird podcast, I have a feeling. Well,
Do you think
they're
this-
all weird.
I was going to say, like, how does that differ from any of our other podcasts? Yeah, what's up, guys? It's your host, Sam and Monica here, to tell you guys a little bit about us. My name is Sam.
My name is obviously Monica.
Is it? I thought your name was Sam. I thought this was a Sam and Sam show. And I live in Cheshire in England.
I live in New York.
So we're about 3,500 miles away from each other. We've been dating for about 5 years, engaged for almost a year now. We're getting married next year. And that is basically us.
Yeah, that's us summed up.
That was pretty quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we like to consider ourselves kind of a relationship expert couple just because we've been in a relationship for so long and we really have like gotten
For our age, anyway.
yeah, for our age, I feel like we're so good at communicating. We know how to fix problems fast. We know how to give each other space and all that stuff. I really feel like we've
I genuinely
got it
think we
down.
have the healthiest relationship of
everyone I
apart
know.
from my grandparents of anyone we know.
Oh my god. yes.
My grandparents have the cutest most adorable relationship ever. Like they're both in their late 80s, okay? And Nanny and Grandpa, by the way, if you're listening to this,
I
hello.
love you guys.
But literally, guys, like every single time they walk anywhere, they still hold hands.
I think
like
we've talked about this in a past vlog.
I think we have talked about it in a video on
no,
our
I mean
YouTube
I
channel.
meant on the podcast as well.
Oh, you said in a vlog.
I know. I haven't used the podcast terms. but
I don't
I'm
think
pretty
we have talked about
I'm
them.
pretty
in a
sure
pod-
we have a few
Have we?
podcast episodes
I know we've
ago,
talked
but-
about them on our YouTube channel, Sam and Monica. So
Plug.
check that out. Yeah, of course. You got to plug your YouTube channel.
No,
haven't you?
his grandparents, honestly though, are the sweetest couple in the entire world.
Like before this whole pandemic, we took them out for lunch at a local restaurant, and they were like holding hands under the table, and like they hold hands everywhere. My grandpa still kind of opens a door for her in the car,
He's a
and
gentleman.
he pulls out the chair for her at restaurants and stuff. And it's just true love
They're
never
just
dies
goals.
like that, does
They
it?
literally are goals.
They are.
But unfortunately, there are so many couples and relationships out there where it's just not healthy. You know when you watch like a show like Jersey Shore when like Ron and Sam were dating, for everyone who's American if you've seen that show. But
I've seen that show, and I'm not American.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because I'm dating an
yeah,
American.
I talk about it all the time. But like when you look at couples like that, like I feel like people have really good intuition sometimes, and you could just tell that relationship is not going to last. And we were all correct; it did not last. They're not together.
No.
But yeah, there's just like so many relationships that don't do well, and you can kind of tell when a relationship isn't set up to succeed.
Yeah, there's always a few signs about whether a relationship is going to succeed through the first kind of few years or so, isn't
Yeah.
there? So with that in mind, we have kind of picked each other's brains and gone through and basically created a list of like the top 5 or 6 reasons why some relationships are doomed to fail.
Yeah, so we're going to
put it
talk about
bluntly.
some of the signs that you should look out for when it comes to either your relationship, maybe your sister, your brother, or anybody, friend, and just the signs that like, okay, maybe this isn't going to work out, just so you're always prepared. Obviously, these aren't all correct. Like, if we say something and it's something similar to you and your boyfriend or girlfriend, don't think your relationship's not going to last. These are just, like, a few pointers that we've realized.
No, your
like,
relationship is absolutely doomed to
Don't
fail.
listen to him, please.
Okay?
No, if
No, I'm
you
joking.
so don't take them too personally, but like these are just some of the signs that we've noticed with friends and family and all that kind of stuff where we just the relationship doesn't end up lasting because a lot of these traits.
Yeah, and these points are in no order of preference. But anyway, let's stop talking about the points and actually discuss
the
the
points.
points themselves. So number 1 is... Listen, guys, like, a lot of these points are going to be very, very... I'm doing it again, aren't I? I'm talking about the points without actually discussing the points. But a lot of these points are going to sound very obvious to you, but when you're actually in that situation, and I've been in that situation before, I've had relationships before Monica. Monica is actually in a very, very fortunate, lucky position in that I am your first real relationship, aren't
Yeah,
I?
I've had the stupid like middle school relationships. I had like a college fling type thing, but it was never like a serious
Well, no, but
relationship.
sometimes, like some people meet in middle school and they get married and
I
live their whole
know,
lives
it's
together.
so
So you can't
cute.
say that they're stupid, but like...
No, the ones I was in, I mean, it's like literally
Okay,
like,
like
oh,
you were
3
just
weeks.
in the kiddie non-serious
Yeah,
ones.
it's like, oh, you're
I
my
get what you mean.
boyfriend, like in the classroom, and then it's like nothing. Like it's not like it was never anything like serious.
Yeah, so just bear that in mind that, the points may sound very obvious, but when you're actually in the situation, they may not present themselves to you
You'll
clearly.
be blindsided sometimes.
Yeah. So number one is, how much do you actually enjoy spending time with your partner? You know, if you don't actually fully enjoy and fully really look forward to spending time with your partner, then why are you together? You know, like every time I fly over to visit Monica, I get nervous, I get super excited. Yeah, and we've been dating 5 years. Like, I know
Exactly.
everything about you. I've met you a million times.
Literally,
It's
even
just,
think about like in the morning when I wake up and you literally run up the stairs because you're always downstairs.
I get
and you
so
run
excited.
upstairs, you're like, oh my gosh, good morning. And you get all excited. But unfortunately, if you don't feel like super happy when your partner's around, or you prefer to do things without them all the time,
and
that's not a good sign.
And we're not saying like every single time you see your partner, if you see them every day, it's not like, oh my gosh, like this is the best day of my life. Like, it doesn't need to be like that, but you need to thoroughly
enjoy
actually,
yourself.
genuinely enjoy seeing and being with your partner.
Yeah,
don't
like
you?
if you're going to a party or something and it's with a bunch of friends or something, and then they're like, bring your boyfriend or whatever, bring your girlfriend, and you just get in a bad mood because you can't want them there and like stuff like that, that's not a good sign. Like, you're gonna want to spend time with them.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that's the
I mean, there's
first
certain
point.
situations where you don't want it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like if I was having like a video game night with a couple of my friends and you were like, oh, can I join?
No,
But
no, I
you
know.
don't
Yeah, I know
play
what you
the
mean.
games
It's just
and
like
stuff
you know what I mean. Like, just like every now and then, if you don't want your partner to always be there, and it's just little things like that.
Yeah. Number two is family and friends generally have got a very good gut instinct about the people you're dating.
Especially moms.
Especially mums.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't tell you the amount of times I've had a friend where like my mom is like, I don't know about her. Like my dad as well, like just saying like, I'm not too sure about like her. Are you sure she's a good friend? And then they always turn out not to be. Like, they have that instinct. But I feel like with friends as well, like if your friend starts dating somebody and then you're always just like, are you sure like he's a player or whatever? And you come up with stuff like that, but like you have a gut feeling, it usually turns out to be right. I don't know about you.
I mean,
but
sometimes they're wrong. Like,
Yeah.
like, you know, like when we first started dating, a couple of your friends didn't really approve of me. I think that was more about the distance rather than like my personality and stuff. But and like my dad was a little bit kind of nervous about the relationship, and he was saying to me, you know, he was a bit negative and saying like, you know, is it really kind of worth traveling 3,500 miles a few times a year and stuff like that? But, you know, that wasn't anything to do with our personalities. That was just to do with the actual distance itself of our relationship.
Yeah.
But, you know, if multiple people are approaching, if multiple friends and family members are approaching you saying, are you sure this is the right relationship for you? And, you know, are you sure this is the right guy or girl for you or whatever? Just really have a good think about it, because generally they've got good gut instincts, because they can look outside the box. They're not kind of in this relationship like you are. They can have an outsider's perspective.
You get blindsided by the love sometimes, and that's okay. Like, everybody does, but you need to just, take their feelings into account, listen to what they're saying. You don't have to listen, but it's important to make sure that they know that they're heard. So.
Yeah. Number three is talking friends and family. If you don't get on with his friends and family, especially if he's a very family-oriented person, I'm just assuming this is a guy, by the way. Like, it could be a girl, it could be whatever. You know, if you don't get on well with his friends and family, and he's a pretty family-oriented person, then, you know, it's a red flag.
Yeah, it's not the most ideal situation.
You don't want to have a stressful relationship due to other friends and family, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, granted, like, you didn't like a couple of my friends when we first started dating, because, you know, before I started dating you, I was a bit of like, you know, being completely transparent, like, I was a bit of a ladies' man.
He
Like,
was a player.
I mean, I liked talking to girls, and like, I was a flirty guy and stuff like that. And my friends were obviously, you know, you have the average of 5 people you hang out with, so my friends were obviously the same kind of people. So when you actually changed me so much in the past like 5 years, haven't you?
Yeah, you changed me as well.
But obviously my friends haven't been in a long-term committed relationship, so a lot of them haven't really changed, and you weren't too keen on a few of those friends at the start of a relationship, particularly, were you?
There's still some people in your life that I'm not, too keen on, but that's okay. Like, you don't have to get along with every single friend.
But if it's a majority of people, if you dread seeing the in-laws, or if you dread seeing his friends and stuff like that, then it's just, is the relationship and all the stress really going to be worth it in the long run?
I don't know about you, but like, I am literally the most family-oriented person I know.
Yeah.
So I can't even.
Well, you do know about me.
Yeah. I can't even imagine, like, if my parents didn't approve of you when we met. Like, I don't even know if we would even be together.
Oh, they hated me.
No,
They hated me.
Stop that.
Yeah,
people are gonna think that you're serious.
Your dad met me with a golf club in his hand, ready to swing
Guys,
it.
this is sarcasm. Please note that he's best friends with my mom and dad. No, but like, if they didn't approve of you, I don't even know if I would have stayed with you, just because it's so important to me that they, like who I'm dating. But thankfully, they besties, so we're all good there. But that can be a deal breaker sometimes, because you want to get along with their family and you want their family to like you, because that's who you're going to be spending the rest of your life with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So moving on to number 4 is common interests. A lot of relationships we've seen are built on one kind of main common interest. So, for example, school, or like a sport you both enjoy doing, or you both have the same career, or whatever it is. But if that interest gets taken away, then what do you have to talk about?
Yeah.
So if you have a lot of common interests, that really helps to build a strong relationship.
And we're not saying like you need to like all of the same stuff. You need to listen to the same music. You need to like the same shows. You need to like all that kind of stuff. But you want to have a lot of common interests, so you have stuff to discuss. You have stuff to like watch together or get excited over, do things together hobby-wise. But you don't have to have everything the same, but
Yeah,
it
but
is
like
important.
like take us for example. We enjoy the same type of foods. Like obviously you're quite a lot more picky than I am.
Yeah.
Like I'm a lot more open to trying new foods than you are.
Yeah.
But generally, like we both like the same types of foods. We like the same activities. We've got the same kind of hobbies. We're both interested in the same kind of things in general, aren't we? And that's for multiple. Like we like the same music. We like the same type of films. Like loads of different things like that. Obviously, there's quite a few things that we're different on.
Yeah.
Like I like playing a lot of video games, and you're not really keen on that. Generally I'm a bit more active and I like exploring kind of the outdoors and stuff
And
a bit
I
more
like
than you
just
do.
laying in bed watching movies.
Yeah, I'm more of a country bumpkin, you're more of a city girl, like stuff like that. Like we've got differences, but we've got a lot of similarities as well.
Yeah, so that's okay. You don't want to have everything the same, I feel like, because then you're literally the same person and opposites really do attract. But you want to have the majority of your interests the same. You want to enjoy the same kind of stuff together.
Definitely. And talking of the same interests and stuff like that, that brings us on to point number 5.
Which is one of the most important.
Which is definitely one of the most important. Yeah, and that is about your life goals and kind of your future and stuff like that. Say, for example, you are a super career-driven, really ambitious person. If you're dating someone that's just kind of a bit of a couch potato, they don't really have much ambition, they're not really kind of interested in making anything of themselves, the relationship may work for a while, but eventually you're going to get stressed and you're not going to, you need to motivate each other for a common goal in a relationship, don't you?
And another really big thing, which would have affected us completely at the beginning, is, in the future, I see myself having kids. I cannot wait to be a mom one day, and I'm having really bad baby fever, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
but
we just hung out with one of my friends, and he's got a 13-month-old baby called
so
Carter.
Cute.
And
but,
Monica is obsessed.
But what was I saying? So, like, with the kids, if Sam told me, like, oh, for the future, like, no, I definitely don't see myself having kids. I don't want kids. I'm 100% certain I'm never going to have kids. That would have 100% been a deal breaker, and I knew the relationship wouldn't last because we want something completely different in life.
Definitely. And I mean, we do want something different to a certain extent. I mean, you literally want as many kids as you can get your hands on. Up until the point at which I started dating you, I wanted 1 kid.
Yeah.
I wanted an only child. I've stretched that to 2 now, but you still want 4, so we're going to have to meet at 2.
I always said, like, I wanted a minimum. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I want a minimum of 4. Like, I just love kids.
Yeah,
but
that's
so I said
definitely
to Sam,
not happening.
which what we've been talking about is, he wants 2, I want 4. So I said, we'll just meet in the middle and we'll have 4, because I feel like that's so fair, no?
Anyways, you see what I'm saying about like ambition for the future and stuff? I don't think this is going to work out. Is
Oh
it?
gosh. No, but seriously though, like that is topics that you need to talk to each other, or if they don't ever want to get married but you do and stuff like that. It's very, very important. So try to talk about your goals. I know it's awkward in the beginning of a relationship. You don't really want to talk about it, but it is
Well, you've got to
good
naturally
talk
let
about
the
it.
relationship progress to it. Like our type of relationship, we had to move a bit quicker because, I mean, being in a long distance relationship, at the end of the day, to be completely transparent, they're expensive.
Yeah.
You're spending a lot of money visiting each other and staying in hotels and, going out for food and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But so, in our type of relationship, we have to move a lot quicker and kind of get serious a lot quicker. But, if you're not living too far away and you don't need to see your partner that often and, you don't need to book a hotel every time you go to visit them and stuff like that, then you can move a bit slower and let the conversations kind of naturally progress to more serious stuff.
Yeah.
But
it is important to talk about it.
But as an overview of that point, like you do need to you need to have shared
future
kind of interests in the future and kind of shared ambitions for the future, because if you're not going to motivate each other and stuff like that, if one of you is super ambitious and the other isn't, then it's not going to work out in the future, is it? Really?
Exactly. And I actually know somebody, really quick. I know somebody who was married to a guy and they never had the conversation about kids. And she ended up having a divorce because she wanted a child so bad and he said no, and they never had that conversation. So, they went all these years together getting married, and then they had to get a divorce because their future goals were just so different from one another. So that's why it really is important to talk about it.
Definitely. And number 6 is the last point on the list, and that is about arguing. Now, every relationship argues, just to put that out there. If you aren't in a relationship, and if you're in a relationship and you don't have bickers, or you don't kind of have disagreements, you don't argue every now and then it's kind of a bit too perfect, wouldn't you say? But
I don't think I've ever heard of a relationship where they haven't had a single bicker or anything. Like, it just doesn't exist. It's just a completely normal thing, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. But the main point, and we have said this in pretty much every other podcast and vlog we've ever done on our YouTube channel, but the main thing is you need to resolve those arguments. Now, if you're arguing a lot and you're both too stubborn to apologize, and you just kind of let the arguments just kind of whitter away, and you don't resolve them, like we've said before, the tension is going to build up and build up and build up, and eventually one of you is going to explode or implode, and the relationship is going to cease to exist.
Yeah, but like Sam was just saying, if you are arguing like every single day, that is not a good sign. It's obviously okay to have arguments every now and then. That's a normal thing.
And it's absolutely fine to have disagreements, but if you're finding any way to annoy each other, maybe if it's if you want attention from your partner or whatever it is, then that's not a sign of a healthy relationship.
Yeah, and it's not going to work. You don't want to be in a relationship where you're always angry, you're always sad, or always mad. Like, you want to, majority of the time, be happy, and that's what being in a relationship is all about. So
Definitely.
He did a little smile when I said that. He liked that one.
I mean, you made me happy, so that's
I'm
why.
gonna cry right now.
So, as a quick overview of the 6 points, number 1 is being around each other has to be enjoyable. You have to look forward to seeing your partner. If you don't, then why you're in a relationship? That's the whole point of a relationship, to kind of have fun, be in love. Number 2 is, if your friends and family have a bad feeling about your partner, then really, listen to their gut instinct, listen to your own gut instinct, and have a good think about it. Number 3 is talking to friends and family. If you don't get on well with their friends and family, this isn't the most important point on the list, but you should take it into consideration, because it could mean a very stressful relationship. Number 4 is, if you don't share many interests, then eventually you may run out of things to talk about. As those kind of current common interests cease to exist, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to discuss? What are you going to have fun over? Stuff like that. Number 5 is, your future goals have to align to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You can have different future goals and stuff, but the big things matter. Yeah. And number 6 is, if you argue a lot and don't resolve your issues, then that's a bad sign.
Yeah. But like we said, if you have a lot of these issues going on, it doesn't mean your relationship is not going to last. It's just that's a pattern that we've seen with friends and family and such. So just to take into consideration those points. And we really do hope that if you're in a relationship right now, that it's happy and healthy. And, if you guys need any more advice on how to handle something in your relationship, please feel free to reach us out. You can send us an email at lovehasnolimitspodcast@gmail.com. Or if you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever want to come on the show and talk about whatever, then send us an email.
That'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we hope this was somewhat insightful and helpful. And thank you so much for listening.
Yes, and we will see you. And don't forget...
Love has no limits.
Love has no limits. See you in the
you
next
put on the
episode.
podcast voice again.
Duh. See you in the next episode, guys. Bye.
Bye.